Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 30th, the last day of November. And yesterday in the Senate they were working on passing a bill. And this was very different from a lot of things that have been going on in the Senate for the past couple of years. This was a truly bipartisan effort. This bill was to protect same-sex and interracial marriage. Now, once the Senate passed it, it has to go to the House to approve the legislation before it gets to Joe Biden's desk to be signed into law. And the supporters of this bill in the Senate are anxious to get this bill over to Congress before the end of the year so that it can be acted on before the Republicans take control of Congress in January. Because who knows what will happen when they take control. And this bill, while it is going to make it easier, I will say that, make it easier to get married in this country if you are getting married as a same-sex couple or as an interracial couple, but it won't legalize in a sense that it becomes a national law. It won't legalize same-sex marriage. But it would require states to recognize another state's legal marriage. So it's not saying that the states must allow legal marriages between two people of the same sex or an interracial couple. It's saying that if a state has that law in place, another state cannot avoid recognizing the fact that this is a married couple. And that's based upon the possibility that the Supreme Court might overturn the Obergefell versus Hodges decision that legalized same-sex marriage in 2015. A state could still pass a law to ban same-sex marriage, but that state would be required to recognize same-sex marriage from another state. So it's kind of a halfway measure. And I'll tell you what's really bothering me about this entire thing. I don't think it's anybody's business but a couple who want to get married or live together or do anything like that. They should be allowed to do it. And if they want to take the formal step of getting married, then it shouldn't matter whether they're black and white, green and yellow, of the same sexual persuasion. That should not be a problem. People should be allowed to do that in this country. It's ridiculous that we even have to have a law like this. If a religion chooses not to recognize it, that's fine. That's the religion's choice. But the religion should not be allowed to stop it. If the people are willing to do it in some kind of legal situation by the state or by the federal government or whatever it is, it should be allowed. It should be allowed. It should not be against the law to get married and live together, no matter what your persuasions are, no matter what your sexes are. Why do we have such ridiculous rules? I can understand from a religious point of view that there may be objections. But if you're choosing to be outside your religion and do it, why not? You're allowed. You should be allowed. This is a ridiculous situation. We should let people live together, any way, shape, or form. Now, I can understand an age limit. I can understand 18 or 21 or something like that. I can understand that because, we got to protect some people who don't think right until they're older, and some people who never think right no matter how old they are. But I think it's ridiculous that we even waste our time on things like this. It's a great country. People should be allowed to live free and easy. Just obey the other laws. Just obey the laws that really mean something in this country. So this, in my mind, is sort of like a waste of time. A waste of time and effort on the part of our government. States can do what they want, basically, and the federal government can't do a lot of things that they really should be able to do because of the way the Constitution was laid out. And we see the division in this country because of that. But in this particular instance, We should be letting people live together as long as they're happy. What's wrong with being happy? Do we have to make people miserable by keeping them apart for no good reason other than that they're not the same color, not the same, and insisting that they be two different sexual persuasions? Why should that be? Why should we even consider that? They're nice people. They're happy people. They're good community people. They have jobs and everything. Why can't they live the life they want to live? Why should any state interfere with that? Why should the federal government interfere? Go to the Justice of the Peace. There should be one legal office where anybody can get married to anybody in every state. Let it go at that. Why do we waste our time on things that I consider unimportant? I don't consider that this is a very important subject. But then again, there's a lot of things I don't consider very important, and everybody else gets crazy about them. So basically, I have nothing in my mind that would interfere with anybody who wants to marry somebody of the same sexual persuasion. And I have nothing in my mind that makes it difficult for me to accept a marriage between two people who are not the same color. Why should that be such a big deal? If you look at this historically, this goes all the way back from before the Civil War, from when we had slaves and when there were slaves and all of those things. And these are a constant reminder. And believe me, we have plenty of people out there who will remind us of all the evil things that have gone on in the past. We don't need another thing on our plate. So I leave you with that this morning. Let everybody get married to whomever they want, and let them lead good and decent lives and raise children properly. Bye.